A very good morning to all the students. Students, welcome to class 7, Civics chapter number 1. We will continue today. Okay, last what we have seen, student. Let's recap some of the last part because it is connected with the present part. Okay, so we will recap shortly. Okay, last we have understood about the equality in the Indian democracy. Okay, we have understood about which type of steps has been taken by the government. Okay, for example, government had taken the some of the government had made some of the rules and regulations regarding the prohibition of discrimination and untouchability and injustice which is done to Dalit and lower caste people, that in order to prevent that injustice, the government has made some specific rules and regulations, some laws, okay, which makes everyone equal. And the other thing that we have seen is the government has introduced some specific programs, some specific schemes, okay, that we can call it as a that one scheme we have seen, that is the midday meal scheme. What is that midday meal scheme? Okay, Tamil Nadu was the first state who introduced first of all midday meal scheme in the state. Clear, all of you? In midday meal scheme, it is the cooked lunch will be provided to the students by the side of the government, from the government. Okay, and what are the benefits of these students? What are the benefit of the midday meal scheme? So students, the one and the most significant benefit of the midday meal scheme is the attendance and the enrollment of the students will increase, okay, will improve. Okay, earlier what happened, the students went to home to take their lunch and they didn't back again to school. Okay, so to solve this issue, the government had introduced the midday meal scheme. Now students get the food in school also, so their attendance, their enrollment, and indirectly their studies also improve. Clear, all of you? So this makes the equality and this makes the dignity among all the students. Clear, all of you? Now students, next topic we will take today is issues of inequality in the other democracies. Issues of inequality in the other democracies. Okay, so here it is wrong, students. You cannot say that the issue of equality is only up to the India or it is only up to our country. Okay, it is totally wrong. Why, students, it is totally wrong? Because issue of equality is also exist in other countries also. Okay, issue of equality also existed in other countries. Okay, the forms are different, but issue of equality is definitely there. Okay, we will take a few examples over here so you can understand. Okay, India is not only the country, so we can say that, student, India is not the only country where issue of inequality is there. Okay, apart from the India, students, apart from the India, in other countries also the issue of equality is there. So we cannot say that issue of equality is there, is only available or is only existed in India only. Okay, in other countries this issue is there. The forms are different, but issue is there. Okay, so for example, we will take the example of the USA, United States of America. Okay, over there the African Americans, it means those people who came to the USA from Africa. Okay, so African Americans whose ancestors were slaves. Okay, whose ancestors were slaves. Slaves, it means the servants. Okay, knocker, which we call as a knocker. Okay, so ancestors were the slaves. Okay, and brought from Africa. They were brought from Africa, and they brought from Africa to USA. Okay, and then in USA they are the slavers. Okay, so their lives are also unequal. Okay, because whatever the rights are given to the American people, okay, those rights are not getting by the African American people. Again I repeat, student, be careful. Those people who came from the Africa to USA, they were the slavers. Okay, so the rights which are given to the American people, those rights were not getting by the African American people. It means there is inequality between the American people and African American people. Okay, there is a much inequality between the American and African American people. It means those who are African American, they were discriminated on the basis of caste, color and all. Clear, all of you? Now African Americans, those who came from Africa to America. Okay, so African Americans were treated unequally in the USA, and their rights are not given to them also. Okay, they are not getting their rights. Those who are African American, they are not getting their rights, but those who are Americans, basically those who are Americans, they were getting their rights. Okay, so African American were denied from their rights. Okay, for example, when the person who is basically from USA, when he is sitting in the bus, okay, and in the same bus when African American people is there, so African American people had to vacate the seat of the bus for the American people. Okay, they cannot sit at the same place where the Americans are sitting. Okay, so the African American have to vacate the seat of the bus for the Americans. Okay, maybe they have to sit behind, or sometimes they have to sit on the floor also of the bus, but they cannot sit together with the Americans. Okay, which is also a type of inequality. Clear, all of you, student? So one more example we will take, student. So Rosa Parks, which name I pronounced? Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks is a lady, okay, African American woman. Rosa Parks is a African American woman. Okay, once she worked a lot. Okay, and she tired very much. So when she, after this much workload, she refused to give her seat to the white person. Okay, it was told to Rosa Parks to vacate the seat for the white person, but she had refused to vacate the seat for the white person. Okay, in a bus on 1 December 1955. 1 December 1955. So I am talking 65 years ago, students. I am talking 65 years ago. Okay. From that day, the movement had begun. The movement had started. Okay, and these movement were started by the African American people, and this movement is called as the Civil Rights Movement. What is the name of movement, student? This movement is called as the Civil Rights Movement, and this movement was fought for the equal rights, to getting the equal rights between the American and between the African American people. Okay, so this movement was called the Civil Rights Movement. Clear, all of you? Now, what is the provision of this movement? What this movement gives to the people, to the African American people? The Civil Rights Movement Act of 1964, student, listen carefully. The Civil Rights Movement Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion or nation. Okay, so you cannot make any type of discrimination to any of the people on the basis of race, religion and nation. So it means you have to treat everyone with equality. This provision was given in the Civil Rights Movement Act of 1964. Okay. Now in USA the schools would be open for all the people. Now schools will be open for all the blacks and white people. Okay, all the people, Americans and African American people, all the students can sit together in the school, and the equality should not be there in the US. Clear, all of you? Now they are also following the equality, but earlier they were also facing the issue of inequality. Clear, all of you? Now students, next topic we are going to learn is the Article 15. Again we will back to the Indian Constitution, student, and we will see the Article 15 of the Indian Constitution. What does the Article 15 say of the Indian Constitution? So Article 15 states, Article 15 says that the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the grounds of, listen carefully students, the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the grounds of what? On the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. So on all these basis, no person should be discriminated. No person should be discriminated on this basis. Okay? And one more, no citizen shall, on grounds only of religion, no citizen shall discriminated on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Okay, be subject to any disability, okay, liability, restriction with regard to access to the private public wells, public roads, malls, multiplex, public places, public gardens, etc. Okay, so all these public places should be open for all the person, should be open for all the citizens of India. Okay, no one can be discriminated against. Clear, all of you? So these were the provision of the Article 15 in the Indian Constitution. These provision, both these provisions, students, basically based on the equality. Okay, it provides the equality to all the citizens of India. Are you getting my point, students? What I am telling you? Now, students, last topic of this chapter, that is challenges of democracy. Still, we are this much equal, or we are furnishing and we are providing this much equality to all our people, to the citizens of our nation. But still, there are some challenges which we have to fulfill. These challenges we need to overcome. Okay, so which are these challenges? So no country can be considered as the complete democratic country today, because there are some issues of equality today also. The special type of inequality you can say is the inequality based on the financial basis, like between the poor and the rich. Okay, this inequality is not sorted out in all the countries, including the developed countries also. In USA and European countries also, if you see in the European and USA also, so this financial inequality is also available right now also. Okay, in present time also the financial inequality is also there. And in the country like India, if you go to the rural areas, so you can face the caste inequality also. Clear, all of you? So that's it, student. Hope you understood all these things. Now rest of the part, it means only the exercise part is remaining. Okay, so NCERT exercise we will take in the next class. Till that time, student, revise, refer and practice. Okay student, thank you so much.